Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. In today's video I've got two stories and both of them have updates. Also, today's video will be a little bit shorter than usual because as you probably can tell, my voice is a little bit shut, so apologies for how I sound. Now let's get started with today's first post. This post is from the subreddit Am I Wrong and it's by user Ballsmuggler. Am I wrong for calling off our wedding after my sister-in-law shaved my beard? My 28 male fiance, 25 female, who we'll call Lexi, and I have been a happy couple, or so I thought, for 6 years and have been engaged for 1. For context, my fiance's sister, 32 female, we'll call her Sally, has always been hostile towards me, would rarely speak to me, and when she did, it would be because her parents were around. Sally is Lexi's rock because she got her through a tough time during college, and since then, Lexi has told Sally everything about everything. We've had problems with this in the past due to Lexi telling Sally personal things about my childhood, things that I'd only told a few people. This led to us not speaking for 3 months during COVID-19 lockdowns when she'd only leave our room for food and to go to the toilet. And we hadn't had an argument in a year plus until 3 nights ago when she mentioned that she'd like me to shave my beard. For context, I have a very thick beard that I've been growing for 8 years and I am very proud of it. So I, of course, told Lexi I wouldn't be shaving my beard, after which she stormed off to the kitchen and slammed her wine glass into the sink, smashing it and a plate in the process. I immediately stood up and asked what the F she was doing. She then spun around and screamed at me that I am a selfish a-hole because I won't shave my beard and ran to our bedroom and slammed the door. No, she can't be 25 years old. I ended up sleeping on the couch and woke up at around 4 AM to Sally with a razor trying to shave my beard, so I pushed her off of me. Lexi then ran to check on Sally whilst I was looking at the big patch Sally had taken out of my beard. After this, I went upstairs and packed a bag whilst Lexi shouted at me for hurting Sally. I told her to F off and that the wedding was off, and I walked out of the house and drove an hour to my parents' house, where I've been staying since the incident. Then, earlier today, I got a text from Sally saying I was selfish for not shaving my beard because when I go down on Lexi, it feels weird. I haven't replied to her. My family thinks I should break off the relationship, but her family said I should just shave it all and move on. So what should I do? And am I wrong? OP, in my opinion, no, you are not wrong, and that is just the first step in what you should do. The second step is take one step after another really quickly and run as far away from that woman as possible, man. And once you've put enough distance between you and abusive Lexi, you gotta press charges on Sally. You've been in this relationship for 6 years and this is the way she constantly behaves? When she doesn't get her way or she just hears something that she doesn't like, she breaks things, she accuses you of being selfish, she slams the door, gives you the silent treatment while in lockdown. What the hell is this, man? This is not a relationship. And then her sister shaving you while you sleep? I have to think that these two have some sort of a battle between them, like who can act the most unhinged. Seriously, OP, this is not the person that you should spend the rest of your life with. At least I would definitely not recommend it. So yes, solidify the fact that the engagement is broken and tell everybody that you need to tell in order for her to not change the narrative and get you in trouble or anything like that. Because honestly, I wouldn't put it past her considering the way she behaves. And what do you guys think about how OP handled this situation? Do you think he was wrong? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. Bree to me says, young man, as a much older lady, I can tell you with complete certainty that both of these women are not right in the head. No one does something like that to another person, period. You, my dear, have dodged one huge-ass bullet. That's not normal behavior in any of those scenarios you described. Drama and self-deluded behavior by both just showed you what your future would be if you marry that girl and her scary-ass sister. They are obviously a package deal. Oh, did I mention? Run! P.S. Remember, never stick your penis in crazy. You even got a bonus crazy chick this time. You did the right thing. You will look back at this 20 years from now and say, what the F was I thinking? Now run faster and further away from the psycho sisters. Get the ring back too. Business Bear 53 says, "Mate, you need to reread what you wrote out. Your fiance is unhinged and her sister is a see you next Tuesday. Getting so angry about a beard that she smashed a plate and glass? Her and her sister deciding your boundaries are irrelevant? Even the fact that she can't keep anything you say to her to herself. This is not something you would want to spend your life with. Best thing you can do now is trim your beard to hopefully even it out, then let it grow again. It can serve as a reminder of this incident." Agitated Fun 7628 says, "Dump Lexi. She has violated your privacy, your bodily autonomy, your trust, your safe space, everything. She is psychologically abusing you. Sally is an a-hole, yes, but she wouldn't be able to get away with so much if Lexi wasn't helping her. Lexi doesn't love you. She loves the idea of you. A boyfriend she can control completely and dress up like a pet." Who the F lives with their partner and refuses to speak for 3 months? Someone not even remotely ready for marriage, that's who. I'm sorry bro, but neither of these children are winners, and I definitely mean children because only little children have this many issues with communication, boundaries, self-control and respect. Anyone outside of a child with these issues is an abusive train wreck and needs professional help. Alright, well the community agrees that OP should put on his running shoes and sprint away, if not faster. They also agree that OP is in an abusive relationship because it definitely sounds like that, and that the way that Lexi and Sally behaves is not normal behavior for two grown-ups, a 25 and a 32-year-old. Wow. Now, OP did not reply to any comments, so we have no additional context, but he did leave us 3 different updates. Each was pretty short, so I just clamped them all into one. But before we move on to the first one, if you're liking this video so far, please go ahead and click that like button, maybe leave a comment, even an emoji, anything helps. And if you still haven't subscribed, maybe today is the day you join our community. Now, let's move on with the first of the 3 updates. Update 1. First, I'd like to clarify one point from my original post. She didn't speak to me for 3 months during lockdown after I confronted her about spreading my trauma to other people. I made an effort on multiple occasions to reconcile during those 3 months, but she had none of it. Now, fast forward to today, and I got 52 missed calls and texts from Lexi saying things like, "Please don't leave me, let's have sex one last time," which she said a lot. And then I just got one saying, "I'm pregnant." I don't believe it for a second. I think she's trying to baby trap me. Well, OP, I'm no Sherlock Holmes, but it sounds like she's definitely trying to baby trap you. Update 2. I've had 2 hours of sleep in and out of consciousness since my recent update and waking up to a barrage of texts from Lexi and Sally. Lexi's weren't too dissimilar except for a few that said, "I love you, miss me," and "I'm taking the baby too." And Sally messaged me saying that Lexi was in the hospital after an attempt to end herself, so I just blocked her number. I don't believe a word, but I'm definitely starting to effing fear for what these crazies will pull next if I don't do something soon. Well done, OP, that was straight out of the playbook. OP's final update. It's been almost 3 months since the last time I was here, and I just thought I'd pop in and give an update for you all. I would like to give a short rundown of things since I left Lexi and I got Sally's message. Lexi and I separated, expectedly. My beautiful and brilliant adoptive mother passed away in November. I moved to the UK, specifically Sheffield. I bought my beautiful dog. I shaved my beard and grew the world's greatest Movember mustache since it's all for a great cause. Finally, some of you asked me if I ever pressed charges on Sally, and all I can say about that is that I'm not allowed to speak about the matter at this current time. And being totally honest, I'm enjoying British ale. I've been going to the Sheffield Wednesday games a lot, so that is probably my favorite thing so far about Sheffield. Fun fact, I decided to name my dog after the first player who scored in my first ever game, and that's why my dog is called Bailey. That's it. Thank you all for the much needed abundance of support. Smiley face, coffee. Love you all. Okay, OP, well, I'm gonna call this a very happy update because I'm guessing you put a lot of distance in between you and Lexi considering you moved to a different country. And although you've been told that you can't tell us anything regarding what's going on with Sally, I can only assume that's a good thing. And finally, well, you've got Bailey that I can only assume is a much better roommate than the last one you had. And with all that being said, here's wishing you the best in the future, OP. Thank you so much for sharing and take care. And now let's move on to the next post that, like I said in the beginning, also has an update. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole, and it's by user Pacer443. Am I the a-hole for not telling my significant other that I'm a millionaire? For reference, I'm an attorney and my significant other is a software engineer. We've been married for 5 years. We have a 3-year-old daughter and live a comfortable upper middle class life. Here's my big secret. I won the lottery to the tune of 8 figures in my senior year of undergrad. After taking some friends on a 2-month European vacation, setting up trusts for my parents' retirement and my brother's college education, and paying for law school, I put what remained, not an insignificant amount, into various investment accounts. I don't intend to touch these accounts until retirement. If all goes well, my significant other and I should be able to retire before age 55. There haven't been any issues in our marriage as of yet. Arguments are easily resolved, our sex life is quite good, and we've never had to worry financially. My reluctance to tell my current significant other about my wealth stems from prior relationships where it's clear in hindsight that my former significant others weren't interested in me but in my money. But at the same time, I feel that I shouldn't continue keeping a secret as big as this from my significant other. So am I the a-hole for keeping my wealth a secret? Well, OP, in my opinion, I think you're an a-hole now. You weren't one when you started dating your current significant other, but now that you're dating, now that you have a kid together, now that you're basically planning their retirement with your money, then yeah, I would think this is a huge secret to be keeping from your spouse, which in turn turns you into an a-hole. However, I do absolutely understand and agree that this isn't information that you would share with somebody that you've just started to date or that you've been dating for a while, like somebody who you don't see a future with. Still, this is your spouse, the person you share your life with and the one you share a child with. So I think you need to come clean about this, OP. And actually, the way that they react to you giving them this information is also gonna let you know a lot about their character. And what do you guys think? What is your judgment? Let me know in the comment section. And now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. Deleted says, you're the a-hole. This is your spouse, dude. You have a kid. The time to worry about whether they were just in it for the money was before you made all these lifetime commitments. Now you're building a life together and you need to talk through what that looks like with all the pertinent information on the table in case they've got long-term goals other than early retirement, like say your kid's college fund. Not to mention that the longer you keep this a secret, the less likely they are to react to it as a happy surprise, and the more they're going to wonder what else you've been keeping from them. Metal Bracelet says, quote, my reluctance to tell my current significant other about my wealth stems from prior relationships where it's clear in hindsight that my former significant others weren't interested in me but my money, end quote. That's understandable in the beginning of a relationship, but how did you not feel you were ready to discuss it any time in your 5+ years together? And how have your friends never mentioned this in front of your significant other? You're the a-hole. And Liberty Prime says, no a-holes here. It's your money and it's entirely your decision what to do with it and who to tell about it. I could honestly see how considerable amounts of money could severely change your current way of life. If you're happy with how you're living, you're happy. Money might actually make it worse. Even if you are married, they are not entitled to your money in my opinion. That is, as long as all bills are paid and nobody has to cut corners. The money you contribute to your household, etc. isn't worth less just because you have more. However, on the other hand, if I was in his, or her, who knows, position, I could see it as a breach of trust depending on what kind of relationship you're having. Honestly, I would tell them nonchalantly, as if it wasn't important, that you have a small cushion set aside for rainy days. This way, they know about it, they know you don't want to touch it, and they know that it's probably enough to keep you above water for a few months, lol, if need be. The amount becomes irrelevant at this point. In other words, you can brush the question off by saying something along the lines of, I'm not quite sure how much it is right now, but I'm happy to know it's there. OP's edit. I'm female. It's kind of funny how most commenters thought I was the husband though. Edit number 2. I'm sorry for not responding to any of the comments, but I've read every single one of them. I'd like to thank those who called me an a-hole for giving me a whole new perspective on this situation. I'll talk to my husband about my money tomorrow. If he's angry at me, it's 100% my fault, but it's something I definitely need to do. Edit 3. Here's some more background information as I realized my OP was short on details. We have separate personal bank accounts because our salaries are similar, around 2,500 yearly difference. But we contribute equally to an expenses account. As of tonight, I've told only my parents and brother about my lottery winnings. Another reason I was so reluctant to tell my husband about those winnings is that I've seen firsthand how coming across a sudden, unexpected sum of money can change people for the worse. My aunt and uncle won about $20,000 from a scratch-off ticket when I was in high school. They then blew it all on a boat that they could not otherwise afford and declared bankruptcy within a year. I'm trying to explain how I made my past decisions, not make an excuse for my behavior. Alright, well, the majority of the community called OP out as an a-hole, and that one comment that says no a-holes here was kind of suggesting a smaller lie. That's bad advice in my opinion. But who knows how much trust they have in their life. Regardless, OP told us in the edit that she is going to tell her husband what's up, so let's move on to the update to see how that went. Hi Reddit, this isn't a happy update. After our daughter fell asleep, I went to talk to my husband. The conversation went something like this. Babe, can we talk for a bit? There's something really important that I think we should discuss right now. He then looks down at his feet and quietly says, So you know about my affair then? Immediately, I started feeling sick. He starts crying and admits to having a 9-month-long affair with a younger unmarried coworker. He then tells me that on occasions when I was out of town visiting family, they had sex in our bed with our daughter asleep in the other bedroom. Not just once, but at least 3 times. All this time, I'm crying too. Then my husband asked me about the possibility of saving our marriage. At this point, I was completely overwhelmed, so I yelled at him to get the F out, which he did. It has been me and my daughter for the last few days. I haven't been able to sleep much, if at all, during this time. I haven't gone to work and my daughter is constantly asking, Mommy, when is Daddy coming back? I don't want to tell her the truth for obvious reasons, so I said, Daddy went on vacation to see Grandma and he'll be back soon. Obviously, I never had the chance to tell him about my millions, which is honestly the only good thing that happened. Divorce is 99% certain, and the next few weeks and months are very, very rough. Oh wow, OP, I am so sorry that this happened to you. I definitely didn't see it coming, but yeah, the good thing is that you didn't tell him about your millions, which are gonna come in very handy right now. But I would say that also the other good thing is that you got rid of a cheater that you didn't even know. That's how good of a liar this a-hole was. Of course, what he did is horrible, and it sucks that he broke your family apart. It's a sad thing, yes. But again, the silver lining is that you didn't tell him about your money and that the cheater outed himself. So all I can say now is I wish that your divorce isn't so rough on you, that you and your daughter can pull through together, that family supports you, and that this a-hole can just leave you alone and co-parent decently. And to my community, again, I apologize for the sound of my voice. I hope watching or listening to this video wasn't so annoying. And also that I'm gonna take Christmas off to spend the whole day with my family and let my voice rest so that I can come back strong on the 26th. Merry Christmas and see you then. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out. So here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.